Hello, everyone. I wanted to make a series discussing the 8 manipulation types. A while back, I created a two-part series giving a brief overview of each type of manipulation style. But now I want to expand a little more on each type, dedicating a video to each one in detail. I will upload a new manipulator type every week, so stay tuned for that. I made a playlist specifically called Manipulator Types, where each video will provide an explanation on each manipulation type. These videos will be made on the premise to educate rather than to focus on the victim and the abuser. Today's video is part of my series, and it's called The Tactician. Previously, I named this one the Observer, but I feel like the Tactician is more appropriate. Every type of manipulation has its subcategories as well, and each one can be used in different times for various different reasons. We might use one type of manipulation at one moment and another type at a different time. Sometimes we might even combine two types when we're really trying to achieve our goals. These videos will provide a general overview on manipulation as a whole and how it impacts you and impacts society. I will upload a new manipulator type every week, so stay tuned for that. So what is the tactician? The tactician is the type of manipulator where they watch you and gather information about everything that you are doing. They watch their target without revealing their intentions. This allows them to understand their target's weaknesses, preferences, and patterns of behavior. They will use all of this information at a later date for their advantage. Like the name tactician implies, they're very tactical, and they do things with great skill and purpose. They calculate their moves and look at life like a game of chess in order to come out on top. They calculate the behavior of another person like a hawk, with its keen vision, watching and waiting for their prey to make the wrong move, or like a leopard who is stalking and stays hidden from their prey until they're able to corner them and take them down. A careful eye is being placed on you. When using this tactic, depending on what the person wants, they may take days or weeks to take note of all of the things that you do and at what time you do them in order for them to pounce on you and make their move. For example, let's say you have a coworker who uses this type of manipulation, and let's say they're trying to move up in the workplace. Maybe you are a hindrance for them because you are more equipped for the job than they are. They can't outwardly vocalize this because this will show that they are jealous. So what they will do is notice and track everything that you do. If you come in late, if you turn in your assignment late, they will notice everything that you do and then use that to spread rumors, lie, and essentially tell on you to make you look bad. They will find all your flaws and make it seem like you are not a good enough fit for the job. At the same time, they may act like they're your best friend, telling you the inside scoop of what's been going on with your other coworkers. They will treat you as if you are part of some inner circle, and they will lie in order to serve their own end and pretend to care about you, all the while they take you down without you being aware of it. They may say something like, "This job kind of sucks, huh? I heard that the boss is going to promote someone, and I overheard him speak to the assistant manager. And he said that the next person he promotes, he's going to give them all the hard jobs. He's going to give them more responsibility, and the pay raise is going to be so small. If you ask me, I would rather stay at my position." And they might tell you that in order to put themselves first and to discourage you. Or if you're in a relationship with a person that uses this manipulation style, and let's say they're always assuming that you are cheating on them, they may not outwardly say much, but they will take note of everything that you do and say. Let's say they know that you normally come home from work around 5 p.m. They will notice that you have a repeated pattern to shower every time you come back from work. So they may take this opportunity to go through your phone and check every conversation you've had to find proof that you are in fact cheating. They may outwardly compliment your appearance and say things like, "Wow, I bet all kinds of girls or guys, depending on who you are dating, would want to be with a person that looks and acts like you. You're a great catch. They might say something like this because they want to see your reaction. They want to take note and see if you will eat up the compliments and agree with her or him. They may then use this reaction against you and use that as proof that you are seeing other people. In the home, for example, a mother who is like this and suspects her son is doing drugs with no proof may set the stage for her son to leave the house so she can inspect his room. For instance, she may tell him, "Why don't you hang out with your friends tonight and come back a little later than normal? Have fun." Her son may have the idea that this is very sincere and he may go. She's going to take this opportunity to look through his bags and go through his closet. She may also set him up by faking sincerity in conversation. She may ask him, "What did you do while you were gone?" She's already expecting him to say, "Oh, nothing, we just had fun." So she will respond by saying, "Oh, when I was your age, we used to have some really wild times." And what she's doing is making herself seem relatable so that her son can drop his guard. And she gets him really comfortable enough so that she can trick him into accusing him for something. She's digging for information and she's trying to get something out of him. Usually in this case, the mother may also try to set her son up by saying things that aren't actually happening in a very condescending manner. She may say something like, "I noticed that you have been coming home late. What have you been up to? Have you been hanging out with that strange friend of yours again? I'm going to tell your father that you aren't doing your homework so that you can't hang out with that strange friend of yours." Her son may be taken back by this, and he will reassure her that he's not doing anything he isn't supposed to be doing. He may become defensive with the accusations. She believes that his friend is strange. But of course, she may continue to press him and find fault in everything that he does. She may notice any little thing that he's doing or he may not be doing wrong. Like he may be dressing a little off. He may be dressing a little lazier than before, eating a little less. He might have gotten a C on his test instead of an A. She starts to nitpick him until he reacts and admits to something that may satisfy her even though he has not done anything. They are very calculating individuals, and they think with strategy in mind. They say things with purpose and have an ulterior motive to their words and their actions. This form of manipulation is effective because they always act like they are on your side, as though they have your best interest at heart, when in reality, they just want something out of you. In the first example, the colleague at work should have taken the time to focus on their own work and get better at it, using their own skill to climb the top without pushing anyone down to get there. In the relationship example, the person should have communicated how they feel, because maybe how they feel stems from insecurity. They could have been vulnerable about how they feel and work through those feelings with their partner. In the case of the mother, the best approach is to sit down with the son and have a conversation about the suspicions that she's having and try to have a genuine connection. Many times, we think that the best way to get the truth out of someone is by indirectly speaking to them using tactics that may only serve to separate and divide. The colleague now has lost respect from their other coworkers. The person in the relationship is now seen as controlling and very jealous. The mother is now seen as hypervigilant and overprotective, paranoid, all of which create a sense of self-destroying behaviors. Manipulation is not always easy to spot, and many times we think we are not using these kinds of tactics when many times we are, even if it's by accident or unknowingly. We think we fully understand when we are being manipulated, but the reality is we can't always discern or tell what another person's intentions are. We ourselves may be doing this unintentionally because of how we've been taught and how we grew up. The world around us is built off a manipulative way of being. The tactician tends to blackmail and deceive and lie to get their way. They exaggerate their control by thinking they can always outwit the other person. It's like dealing with a con artist or a high pressure salesman. You feel like you constantly have to defend yourself in every situation. They're always trying to outsmart you with wisecracks and use what they know about you against you. They are trying to reel you in and sell their idea about you to you, confusing you in the process. Even if the lie is obvious about yourself, you can become confused. They rehearse objections and they have pre-thought out responses to the arguments that you might have to come back at them with. The tactician will most likely know what your responses will be, how you will respond, and they know the next answer after they have already objected to your objection. They have calculated and processed many different scenarios. In alchemy, the idea is to transform one substance into another. When we take this into account, the tactician can turn into someone who studies other people to truly help and build up others. They can connect with people on a deep level using their calculating mind. When we are able to transform this kind of manipulation, the tactician becomes someone who can become very well respected. If they use this energy to help instead of hurt, they would be able to use this to see greatness in others. Instead of taking the time to find fault in everyone, they can use it to find their strengths and to see them as people instead of things. They can learn to value the opinions of others as well as their feelings. They have the potential to see someone on a very deep level, deeper level than most if they were to transform this and work on themselves. Those that have been a victim to the tactician may have a hard time trusting people. They may feel like others are constantly lying to them or trying to get something out of them. This is where you must learn how to be very comfortable being yourself. The tactician will try to play you like a chessboard to get you to move into the wrong place. They will lie to make you feel guilty. They will blackmail you. If you become immovable and genuine, honest, you can't be set up. They can't move the pieces into place. You don't have to be smarter than the tactician. You just have to be yourself and to be comfortable with it. They say honesty is the best policy. This applies when going against the tactician. Apply the phrase to yourself. This means when you are authentic with yourself, no one can make a lie about you when you are consistent in thought and in action.